Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Way That I See It, and this is my podcast. So if you are joining me on YouTube, then hi, nice to see you. I hope that you've had an amazing week. If you are joining me on Spotify or Apple, then hopefully the sound is crystal clear. And if it's not, always drop me a line, drop me a message, let me know. I don't edit any of my podcasts. I chose to do that at the very beginning because I didn't feel like it was very me. I use the occasional filter on my story, but I'm a big believer in keeping it real. That's why this podcast is called The Way That I See It. It's based on what's going on in my life, what's going on in my world, what's happening, what I'm seeing about things, how my mindset, what I'm kind of seeing in life is evolving and changing, and sharing that with you guys. So first things first, this week I want to talk a little bit about giving yourself permission. Then I want to talk a little bit about stepping into your desires. And 3, what that actually means, like turning that language and actually into action, and how do we translate that into something that's real and tangible. So first things first, let's talk a little bit about giving yourself permission. So what I have massively identified over the years that and I'm just moving my mic so if it gets super loud, apologies. Over the years that I've been a coach, one of the biggest things that I have seen and recognized is a lot of people who are looking for change. They're looking to create something different in their life. They're looking for it all to kind of go in a different direction. Is the challenge that comes with that is that actually they have all the ideas and all the desire, but they don't necessarily ever give themselves permission. And because they don't give themselves permission, what happens is nothing actually changes. And as brutal as that sounds, and as cold-hearted as it sounds as me to make it that flippant, it's true. And the reason that people don't give themselves permission is they're living a story and identity about who they think they are, what they think they're worthy of, what they think is possible for them, how they think life is going to go for them. And in my honest opinion, actually all that is just another way of packaging up limiting beliefs and conditional beliefs that are holding you back from the next level life that you want. And so for me, when you're not giving yourself permission, that's because you're not actually stepping into the work. You're not doing that inner work on why you believe what you believe, why that story is still relevant, why you're telling that narrative about that side of your life. And so for me, if you're not giving yourself permission, if you're not allowing yourself and freeing yourself to step into the next level version of yourself, and there is work to be done. There is a shit ton of work to be done. And I always say that the work is the inner work, right? You know, actually, I've been through many things in my life. I've worked many careers, many industries. And one of the things that I will tell you in every single industry is that the strength of the job, the strength of the person, the strength of the role is always dependent and determined on the strength of the person. And so it's not about working hard in terms of working 47 hours in a day, right? Working hard is about doing the inner work, being prepared to face and see the things that are holding you back, being willing to be honest with yourself, to call yourself out on your bullshit, to challenge yourself on what's stopping you from becoming the next level version of yourself. And so the biggest thing that happens when I talk to clients about not giving themselves permission or not being able to allow themselves to do the next thing is truly because they haven't faced the inner work. They haven't faced the lies they're telling themselves. They haven't faced the narratives, the stories. They're not willing to face them. Maybe it's too painful. And there's no judgment here, right? This is a no judgment zone. But for me, I think that what has been powerful every single time I've wanted something more, I've wanted something different, I've wanted to step up, I've wanted to transform, I've wanted to create my next level of life, is the work has always been the inner work. And from the inner work comes the inspired action, comes the next step, comes the decision, comes the choice, comes the feeling, the vibe, the state, and not the other way around. I think, you know, I've forced a lot of things in my life and time, you know, I've hustled, I've ground, I've had a corporate career where it's been like pushing freaking a mud ball uphill, right? But actually in reality, it was always something that I was passionate about and loved. And as much as it's been hard, it was never something I felt like I was pushing against the forces of nature. And in the times where I have felt like that, the odd occasional time where I have felt like that, it's because I've been trying to do the work on the outside to compensate for the lack of the work on the inside. So my first piece of advice to you is step up on the inside, step up to doing the inner work, decide to own it, decide to tell a new story, to write a new narrative, decide to face those beliefs head on. Now, this is why I created the Build Your Belief mini course, right? It's purely for this reason, because this is a mini course. It's 5 modules, 4 bonuses, 5 task books and 2 downloads for you to be able to take that and basically choose it with any topic you want. So whether it's money, body, relationships, love, self-confidence, you can basically take those 5 modules, put any topic on the front end, and ultimately transform your belief system in the area of life. And until the end of April, it's actually on a 3-month payment plan as well. So you're getting an incredible, like insane amount of value. And, you know, one of my clients today even said to me, she was like, holy shit, to look at this shit is hard. She's like, but it's so freaking good, because what I'm doing is clearing space. And that's it. It's like clearing out a wardrobe, right? Ready for new clothes, or clearing out a house ready for new furniture. You've got to make space for the new beliefs. You've got to make space for the new stories. You've got to clear the space in your mind and in your psyche and in your narrative for the next level version of yourself. And that's the truth. And so that's where this Build Your Belief mini course came from. It came from somebody, you know, a previous version of myself who wasn't willing to do the work, who was going through a stage where she felt like she should have arrived. And actually I was like, fuck this shit. I'm better than this. I deserve more. I reset my boundaries. I redefined what I wanted. I understood what I desired. I gave myself permission. I looked at the stories that said it wasn't possible for me. I looked at the beliefs. I stepped into the faith. I became the next level person, and boom, the goals became a reality. And as much as that sounds simplified, that is exactly what happened. And so my advice to you is that if right now there is something in your life you want to change, and I've got a new ebook coming out pretty soon actually called Becoming the Master of Change. But if you are looking right now to create change and cultivate change in your life, then you must first get really fucking clear on what you want. You must get clear on what you want. You must decide what you want. Once you've decided what you want, look at the stories that say that it can't be possible for you. Look at the stories that say that that's not the kind of person that you are. Address that, face that head freaking on. And then you're in a position to be able to go, right, what do I need to do? Who do I need to be? How do I embody the next level version of myself? And just stay in that faith, to stay in that energy. And if you find that difficult, if that's not something you feel you have the skill sets and remits to do, then check out the Build Your Belief mini course at leastsuperfoster.com/courses. So that was the first bit, was really talking about giving yourself permission. And I think that, like I said, the reason most people don't give themselves permission is they're telling themselves a story about who they think they are, what they think is possible for them, you know, the journey that they're on, who they think they are in life, what they're from. And actually, we get to rewrite that story anytime we want. We get to choose what we believe, we get to choose what we think, we get to choose what we decide any single time that we want. So as a step from that, what I really wanted to talk about is owning your desire and how to understand desire and what desire means. And I've really learned to understand that desire for me is about releasing the should, releasing the supposed to's, releasing the right thing to do, releasing the next thing to do, releasing anything other than it's a fuck yes. And the great friend of mine, Danielle, says, if it's not a full body yes, it's a fuck no. And I absolutely love that. It's one of the most inspired phrases I've ever heard. And I am a big believer that when you do the personal growth work, when you are consistently working on yourself, your self-belief, your self-confidence, the self-story, the self-narrative, when you're working on those things, you can understand what a full body yes is. The problem is that this is the challenge, right? Is that a lot of people don't know what a full body yes is. They don't know what it means like or feels like to have a full body yes. They don't know what it feels like to be aligned. People always say to me all the time, I feel stuck, I feel lost, I'm confused. And I'm like, but do you know what alignment is? People say like, I don't feel aligned. I'm like, do you know what it is? This is what alignment is, doing what you fucking love. To me, that's what alignment is doing what you fucking love. So doing something and it feeling really good to you, that is alignment. That's it. And so what people do is they confuse alignment with some kind of magical mystery journey or some mystical experience that it's not, right? Alignment is simply doing what you love. And if doing what you love also then makes you money and is a great career choice for you and allows you flexibility, time and choices, then honey, fucking hell, you smashed it, right? But actually, if what you find is that you do what you love, but it doesn't pay you any money, but you actually have a job that you quite like because it gives you great hours and a great pay, that's also alignment too. Like for me, alignment is not some fluffy pie in the sky imaginary thing that someone drops into your head and suddenly you're aligned, ping. You know, that's not what this is for me. Alignment is simply doing what you love, feeling good about what you're doing, feeling like you're on purpose, feeling like you have direction, feeling trusting, feeling like you have faith in yourself, feeling like you're not blocked, feeling like you're not confused. To me, that's what alignment is. So in order to really step into that alignment, have that full body yes, you've got to be honest about your desires. And it's kind of a three-edged sword, right? You've got to have all three things. You've got to give yourself permission to want what you want and allow yourself to want what you want with no judgment. The second thing is it's got to be something that you love, because otherwise it's not true alignment. It's not a true desire. And three, it's to really recognize that unless you are doing the work to really understand yourself, sometimes desires will be a distraction of the ego. So the ego will say that you want things, but they're not necessarily true desires. They're just things that the ego says that would make me feel good. And so in order to understand the difference, for me, it feels like it's in here. It feels like it's in my heart. It feels like it's in my chest rather than it being in my head. It doesn't feel like a head win. It feels like a heart win. It feels like a body win. And, you know, I've had Reiki, I've had spiritual healing, I've had many things. And the one biggest thing I will tell you, the best way I've ever found alignment is exercise. And the best way I've ever found alignment is to be with nature. And it sounds fluffy, but I'm a big beach person. I'm not really a forest or nature person, but to be with nature, to stand with my feet in the sand and to just let it all go. And as the waves come in, to breathe in, and as the waves go out, to breathe out, and just to let it all go. And you know, the fact that we can even observe our thoughts, guys, shows that we are not our thoughts, right? We are not determined or defined by our thoughts. There is a soul or a person or whatever you want to call it beneath that. And the way, that's the one you want to be listening to, right? You don't want to listen to the ego head, you want to listen to the one beneath that. And that only comes from being able to uncover your thoughts, from being able to recognize them, from being able to be aware of them. And that's why personal development is so essential. You know, I honestly don't believe that anybody can live an aligned path, aligned purpose without doing personal growth, without looking at the things that are holding them back, without challenging them, the bullshit stories that they're telling themselves, in order to step forward into the next level version of themselves. And that's how you give yourself permission, by breaking down the beliefs. And that's how you step into desire, by asking yourself what you truly want on a deeper level rather than a surface level. And this is why I'm so fucking passionate about my Build Your Belief mini course, because I know that what I have created in this course for £279 or £93 over 3 months, whatever you want to call it, in 5 modules is fucking exceptional, because I've given you the guided tools and path to ultimately empower you and enable you to transform your belief systems and your stories across whatever area of life is the thing that you want to change. And to be able to do that was an inspired action from me. That came from alignment. It came from a full body fuck yes. It came from me knowing I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do more with my courses. I was like, I'm going to make 3 mini courses. And then next time I was like, and this is what they're going to be called. And I was like, and they're going to be this long. And then they're going to be about this. And then I press go on the camera. And then I built the work off the back of what I filmed. And that was trusted, inspired guidance. And that is why they've launched so well. It's why so many incredible people have taken the courses, and why so many people have had such an incredible experience, because it wasn't something that came from a, this could make me money, this is a logical thing, this is the right thing to do. It came from, this feels really good to me, this feels like what I want to do, this feels like what I want to share, this feels aligned. And that's where it's so important for us to give ourselves permission to just want what we fucking want. Because if I had been selfish and said to myself, well, it's not what you should do, what you should do is focus on X, Y, and Z, and this makes the most logical sense, is that I would have deprived the people that have jumped on that and had massive transformation experience by getting in my own fucking head. And this is what I believe. I believe when we step into our power, when we step into the next level version of ourselves, I truly believe we empower others to do the same. And this is why I do what I do. This is why I'm motherfucking unapologetic about how confident, bold, out there, outlandish, sweary, aggressive I am about my life, because I truly fucking believe that when I am me, that I will empower somebody to be themselves. And by doing that, I see that as the greatest honor, as my, you know, as my time on this earth, is to show somebody, if it helps somebody step out of their shell, to be into a newer, higher confidence, next level version of themselves, to achieve something great, to achieve something amazing, or just to simply achieve a state of happiness, well-being, and liking themselves, then I have fucking done my job here on this earth. And that, my friends, is the way that I see it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you do, I'd love for you to leave a comment or a review below. I love to hear from people who listen to my podcast, watch the YouTube, or read my blog/newsletters. So let me know if there's anything you want me to cover, to talk about. I look forward to catching up with all of you soon. And that was the way that I see it.